The Super Bowl is on February 2nd, but that doesn't mean football is over. Anticipation has been building since the XFL first announced last year that it was kicking off on February 8th with all games nationally televised each weekend. The XFL Commissioner Oliver Luck joins us from New York to bring us up to date on all of the exciting details. Oliver, it is such a treat to talk with you today. So much news, so much excitement right now. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Natalie. How are you?
I am well. Again, I shared with you before we got started. So excited to talk with you. So let's jump right in. One of the things that's grabbing headlines right now is all the rules that are starting to come out. And the Tampa Bay Times just did a fabulous article kind of breaking down some of them. So I want to get your thoughts. The one that kind of seems to be the most consequential rule I read is the 25-second play clock. Explain what that means and what that's going to mean for fans.
Sure. So I'll give you a little bit of the backstory behind that. So as we got started about 18 months ago, we talked to a lot of fans, right? Focus groups and market research. And what they told us was, Mr. Luck, we want professional football. We love the game, but we want the game to flow a little bit more, to have a little bit more rhythm, fewer interruptions, fewer stoppages. So we sat down and studied, games and analyzed games and decided that we could get a 25-second clock that would allow teams to play fast, to play up-tempo, to really have good rhythm and good flow through the course of the game. So that's combined with what we're calling the ball spotting official. This is a referee who has one responsibility only, and that is to spot the ball. And that's going to take about 7 seconds or so per play. So if you think about it, it's really a 25-second plus a 7-second clock, so about 32 seconds. And that's the average time that it takes an NFL team to get a playoff. So we think that the game will flow just a little bit more and we'll have a little bit less downtime and fewer interruptions. And that was important because that's what fans were telling us.
Less stall, more ball is what I'm hearing. Most fascinating rule
That's right.
I read is the comeback period. Can you kind of give us an idea of what that's going to be like?
Well, the comeback period is the last 2 minutes of each half. And, it's a period where the clock will stop. And what we're trying to do is give a team lots of time to make a comeback, right? Hence the name comeback period. So the clock will stop for 5 seconds, then plus the 7-second ball spotter, you'll have enough dead time to get the team up to the line of scrimmage, ready to run a play with very little time running off the clock. So a team that's behind, will be able to catch up. And a team that's ahead can't just take a knee 2 or 3 times and run the clock out. So that's one of the plays that we thought was a meaningless play in the sense it's not a real football play when a quarterback takes a snap, takes a step back and drops to a knee. It's great if you're winning the game, but it's not a play that fans really told us they wanted to see. So all of these rule innovations are really designed to make sure we can play fast tempo, up-tempo, fast-paced game and really make sure that we've got a lot of plays and a lot of scoring plays to keep our fans entertained.
Well, already Tampa Bay Vipers here, training camp actually, and I read earlier this week that one of our players, Randall Hall, he was known for being a wide receiver, several NFL teams, played at UCF in Orlando. He now is getting the chance to actually play on the other side of the ball, and he kind of credited the XFL with that, saying he's getting to define himself in a different way, which would have never happened in the NFL. What feedback are you hearing from other players around this league? Because it is such a win-win for so many of them.
Well, we're excited about the fact that all 8 of our teams, there are about 70 players per team, they're all down in Houston. They've been there for now a week or so. We got another couple weeks to go in training camp. We've got great coaches, guys like Mark Trestman, the Tampa Bay Vipers head coach. Mark's been around, won Grey Cups up in Canada, head coach of the Chicago Bears. And these guys see talent. And we have the ability to take a guy, who was a wide receiver and move him to the other side of the ball or vice versa. It's almost like, they're going back to sort of their high school days where they can play a position that they're somewhat familiar with but haven't had, enough time to work on it. So we've got time. We're preparing our teams. I can tell you this from what I see down in Houston at our training camps. Tampa's got a very strong team. Mark's doing a very good job. Aaron Murray, the quarterback, a local Tampa product, is doing a great job as the quarterback for that team. So Tampa's going to have a very strong team in the XFL. I'm excited for that first week to see how well they can play.
Oh, we're excited as well. I'm glad to hear you say those things. Another element, too, I wanted to talk with you about real fast was the technology. Of course, you got the strong players on the field, but I know you are making no excuses of the technology being used, too. People are going to be able to see the latest and greatest.
Well, we want technology that makes sense to help us play fast. So, for example, the coach to quarterback communication, it's not just the coach talking to the quarterback, but that coach will be talking via the electronic system to all the skilled players out on the field. That'll help us, we believe, play better football in a very fast mode. So we're going to listen in on the referees when they have their little huddle and make a decision, about a penalty. We want to give access to our fans. We want our fans to be able to listen into those places where, they've always wondered about it. What does it sound like, in the huddle? What does it sound like when the referees discuss a penalty? And we think giving, fans that access, whether they're at the stadium or at home watching on TV, we think is going to be pretty cool. And it'll be easy to find our games on television. Fox and ABC, ESPN, FS1. Our broadcast partners are incredibly powerful, so we'll have great visibility when we launch on February 8th and 9th.
Well, Mr. Luck, I am so over on time right now. I have got to go. Thank you very much for joining us today. Hopefully we can talk with you again.
Thank you, Natalie.